Hello, everyone. My name is Eszylfie Taylor, president of Taylor Insurance and Financial Services and founder of the Taylor Method. How you doing today? You know how I'm doing today? Today is the best day of my life. That's my answer every single day. Did you know that every night over 1 million people go to bed every night and don't wake up the next day? So the fact that I'm here, the fact that you're here watching me today, we're already ahead, right? It's a blessing. I'm super excited to announce an upcoming bootcamp series that I have. We're launching these literally every month. We have two series. We have an intermediate series for advisors who are making somewhere between, 100,000, 150,000 or less. And we have an advanced series for advisors that are making, 200 plus and trying to get to the next level. So I wanted to spend some time with you guys today, sharing a little bit about my story, how I've gone from making basically $50,000 a year to $50,000 a week, sometimes $50,000 a day. I sit before you today, arguably one of the biggest failures you've ever met in your life. I say that a lot. I think what I've come to realize is that the most successful people in life are not the smartest, are not the most capable, right? They're not the most charismatic. They're simply those who can endure the most pain, right? So the reason I created the Taylor Method is so that you do not have to endure as much pain. And success will not be handed to you. Success will not come, just fall into your lap. You have to take success. Life is hard, and for those of us who are waiting for life to become, easier or more forgiving, you're going to be gravely disappointed. Life does not get any easier, right? We simply get stronger and more resilient, and it's going to be hard. And we talk about, things being hard, right? Being $1 million producer, that's hard. Struggling and being broke is hard. Right? And so I encourage you to choose your heart. If we're going to do it, right? If we're going to be in this business, let's do it 100%. Let's make the biggest impact that we can. And it's not about just the money. It's not about the accolades. It's not about the awards. It's about the impact. And the byproduct of you having a huge impact, the byproduct of you helping people is that you make money, right? So your income is a direct reflection to the work that you do and the power and influence that you have in your client's life. So don't lose sight of that. So I want to walk you through this webinar series and the things we're going to be going over today. First, a brief intro. I'm going to tell you how I got here, right? I wish that I can say I came into the business, I had it all figured out, I had all the answers. I didn't. I struggled, but I made it through. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my secret. How did I go from making 50 grand a year to 50 grand a week? I'll share those principles with you. Who am I? I'll talk to you a little bit about who I am, what makes me tick. I think that there are some common traits that all advisors have to be successful. And although we're different, right? We have different markets, different objectives, different planning philosophies. The one thing that I would say is super, super important is that we stand for something. And the people that I meet that are principled, the people that I meet that are convicted, the people that I meet that have confidence, those are the ones who are the most successful advisors, regardless of where you live, regardless of your business philosophies. We'll talk a little bit about why advisors struggle. If you think about it, we all have access to the same products. We all have access to the same tools. So why then do some advisors do better than others? We'll talk about increasing your business. How do you write more business? How do you write bigger deals? We'll talk about that. And then how you get there. It's nice, right, to hear, oh, you can make a lot of money, you can have this big impact. One thing I was missing when I started my practice, and many of you can probably relate to this, is how? Like, okay, you're telling me that all these things are possible, but how do you get there? So we're going to go through those things today. So jumping right into it. A little bit about me. So I started in the business. I was 22 years old when I started in the business. I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, as ambitious as anyone you'd probably ever meet. I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 25, right? And I was keen on doing it. Again, challenges, I didn't know how. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a path laid out for me. I had no idea on how I was going to do it. And what I learned about this business is that early is that you're going to make as much money as your clients make. And so part of the ascension for me in this growth trajectory isn't so much that I'm smarter today than I was 20 years ago. From an aptitude perspective, there's nothing that I do today that I couldn't have done when I was 22. What I certainly have today is a better market. And you could probably attest to this in your own life, right? How many times have you met some really, really smart, some sharp people, right? That are just kind of getting by in life, maybe making $50,000, $60,000 a year. And you've been around some people that you wouldn't consider all that sharp, right? Maybe a little foolish, if you will. And they might be really successful or even multimillionaires. You go, what is it? And it's not so much your intelligence, rather, is not a direct reflection of your income, right? It's really, who do you know, relationships, and how much money do they make? How much money can they spend? Right, and so that the goal and the strategy that I'll share with you as we go through these series in my bootcamp is, how do I go from this level, right, of in my business and working with this level of clients in terms of their income, and continue to grow up? And that's super important, right? How do I get there? Where do you want your business to go? What do you want it to look like? It's not enough just to work. It's not enough just to, show up, right? You show up, then you gotta show out. I teach yoga, and I teach different fitness classes, and I'm working with people, and I'll say, hey, we got a little bit more time. You guys want to do more? And they're like, oh no, and I'm like, you're here, right? We're already here. You might as well get it, right? We're already here, and that's what I'm saying. You got your licenses, right? You got appointments with your company, right? You got your office set up. You got your business cards. You bought the fancy suit. You got the nice dress, right? You're here. Make it happen, right? We didn't come this far just to come this far, right? So you have to set goals. Where do you want to be? I love the quote: if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it with amazing accuracy. One of the things you have to do is you have to define where you want. This is what my annual revenue goals are, right? And then more importantly, you have to back into it. What is then required of you every single day, right, to reach that? And that's one of the things that I preach, is just winning the day, right? I don't care what happens a year from now, 6 months. I don't care what happens tomorrow. The only thing I care about is in this moment, in these moments right now, being the best version of myself, working as hard as I can, being as diligent as I can right now. And my full faith and belief is, if I do that, right? If I do that, I've won. Now, does that mean that I'm going to get everything that I want when I think I should have it? No, right? But I will not look back at my life and say, what if I tried this? What if I did this? What if I, did a little bit more? I'm not going to leave anything left to interpretation. I'm not going to leave anything up, to chance, right? I'm going to bust my tail. I'm going to make it happen. So that's one thing. Definitely, set these goals, daily goals, win the day. This ascension from making 50 grand a year to $50,000, a week, sometimes $50,000 a day, is, like I said earlier, is that I found you're going to make as much money as your clients make. All right. And it sounds, when I say this, people go, how could this be? It's a lot easier actually to make $1 million a year in this business than it is to make 50,000. Right. And you say, well, why is that? Think about it. If you sit down with somebody that makes, 50 grand a year, they make $4,000 a month. They make $4,000 a month. They've got $3,500 a month of expenses. They've got $500 a month of discretionary income. And you want to sell them a plan that costs $200. You want to take 40% of their discretionary income. Man, you better be good. You better answer every question, every objection, and be ready for that policy to lapse in the first 6 months. Right? I sit down with somebody that makes $50,000 a month. Right? They've got $20,000 a month of expenses, $30,000 a month of discretionary income. I'll sell a $50,000 annual premium over lunch. Right? And so the key then is, how do I transform my business? One, not only to see people at that level, right, that can write those checks, but consistency, to see a lot of people like that, right? I love the adage, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So it's not just a matter of getting lucky or writing a singular case. It's all about sustainability. Can I have 15, 20, 25 meetings every single week with people at this level to ensure that my business doesn't only just maintain, but I can continue to grow it, right? And these are the principles that I teach in my bootcamp. Today, I guess, on its surface level, I look pretty polished, and I've had even a storied career, I'd say, to this point, and I feel blessed, and I'm humbled even to be here and to have the opportunity to share. Some of you might have seen it previously. I was featured in a series of LinkedIn commercials that launched during the Golden Globes, played during the Super Bowl, a national ad campaign. If you haven't seen that, we'll make sure that you get a link to that so you can watch it. But you guys have heard that where it started and where are you now. And where I am today, again, is just a testament to hard work, perseverance, and the desire to help people. And that's what's gotten me over the edge. When I came into this business, it was about me, it was about awards, it was about accolades, it was about money. And when I achieved those things, I was empty. And I realized, wow, if I shift the focus away from me to others, to helping other people grow, to improving their lives, I'll be just fine. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. So by sharing, by giving, by connecting, by being a light to other people, I lose nothing. Matter of fact, I get more out of it, right? And so it's an interesting thing. I always say this business will expose you. It will expose all the good things about you, right? What do you do well? What are your character strengths? All will come out in this business. And all your flaws and shortcomings and issues will be revealed just the same. And you have a choice. You can run from those things, you can deny those things, or you can embrace them. And I choose to embrace them. I encourage you to embrace them. I encourage you to recognize that if you don't do something different, right? If you don't change, right? You won't. Your life won't change, right? In life, you're getting better or you're getting worse. There's no staying the same. We can't stay the same, right? A caterpillar and a butterfly go to lunch, and the caterpillar remarks to the butterfly, "Man, have you changed?" And the butterfly says in response, "Yeah, we're supposed to, right? We're supposed to change. We're supposed to get better. We're supposed to be challenged, right? So we're here." I think one of the reasons why advisors struggle is we lack process and we lack effective language. We lack process, we lack effective language. We are leading with product. We are leading with this product, this feature, this benefit. People don't buy products. You'll never be successful in this business selling products. You have to look to solve problems. People don't really care rather about the product, especially we sell something that's intangible. There's nothing for them to even show off. But people will remember, people will be moved by the way you make them feel. So when you can tap into what drives people, when you can tap into motivating factors and solve those problems or make people feel good, then they will act, then they will move. So that is what I teach in my process. The 4 pillars of the Taylor method: the approach, what do I say to get in front of people? The fact find, when I'm in front of them, what questions do I ask? The opportunity, within the way they've answered those questions, where's the opportunity for the sale? And lastly, the close, the call to action. What do I say to get people to actually move to write checks? But it's all about connection. It's all about questions. It's all about fulfillment of people's desires, more so than product. The product, again, is simply a byproduct of solving your problem, right? Do you want to buy a hammer in and of itself? Do you want this hammer? I don't know. I don't really care for a hammer. But when I point out you've got a hole in the wall, you got a hole in the wall and it needs to be patched, and this device, this tool, can fix that problem that you have, then this hammer becomes attractive. But if I try to sell the hammer without pointing out the fact that there's an issue, right, it's going to be a harder sale, right? So that's philosophy, process, and then language. What are you saying to people? Again, think about this. We work in an industry that is arguably the highest compensated industry of any sales profession you could have in the entire world. Yet 88% of people who come into this business don't make it past 3 years. Why? Why? Right? And I think it's because although the money could be great, our process is off. Our language isn't right. And in large part, and again, I didn't have this, and I literally trying to be for you what I wish that I had. How many people out there make $100,000 a year, $100,000 a month, right? $100,000 a week that take what they learned and share it and give it for you to actually not only listen to their accolades and see them paraded around, but actually say, this is what I do, this is what I say, right? This is how I got here. There you go. And that's what I do. That's what this Taylor method is, right? And I think that's really powerful, right? So the best athletes in the world, the best singers, the best actors and actresses, all have a coach. All have someone pointing out things to them, have them critiquing them, have them, sharing ideas and insights to get them better. Right. And as I'm still a work in progress myself. I'm certainly far from finished, but there's certainly value in working together. There's certainly value in our collective energy, right? They say if you want to go fast, then go alone. But if you want to go far, then go together. And this business is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to need to go together to go far. We talked about the mindset, right, that's needed, process, language, and then your mindset has to be, do you believe that you can help every single person that you see? Every business owner, every mother, every father, right? If you don't, if you question that, that's going to come across in your engagement with your clients. Again, because we sell something that's intangible, we sell ideas, we sell peace of mind, people are ultimately buying you. And if you don't believe in you, no one else is going to believe in you. Now, this belief, this confidence can come about. One, it's natural. There's some things I can't give you. But when you have, going back to process and language, when that's buttoned up, right, then you feel confident going into meetings, right? What I believe in my heart of hearts is, you know what I believe most people are more afraid of? I believe more people are not afraid of the rejection of that high net worth, of that millionaire telling you, no, I'm not interested. You know what we're actually more afraid of? We're more afraid that multimillionaire says, sure, I'll see you. What you got for me? Now, what do we say? What do we do? And when you have process and language, and regardless of this person's financial situation, regardless of how much money they may or may not have, I'm going to uncover problems. I'm going to create value every single time, right? And that's what I promise you will get out of this system. That is what I do in my practice, and that is what I teach. As a result, we're going to increase our case rate, increase our case size, right? And that's one thing, especially for those of you that are already enjoying some level of success. Like, oh, Eszylfie, I'm doing pretty well. I'm making MDRT, or I'm making $100,000 a year already. Great, awesome. But are you extracting maximum opportunity from every single client meeting that you have? Are you uncovering all of the issues? Are you getting all of the premium? Are you getting all the assets that you should be getting, right? And not because it's for you, not because you need to make more money or you need more assets under management, is that if you're really diving into what people say they really, really want, what they really want to protect, what they really want to grow in terms of, a nest egg for themselves, then it generally requires more of them than what they're currently doing. Do not be an order taker for the sake of, oh, I got a deal, right? I made some money. We're not order takers. Again, we are problem solvers. We are guides. We are Sherpas. People are looking for us, right? So again, am I not doing my client a disservice if they say, yeah, I want $1 million term policy because I bought a house and it's $1 million mortgage. Okay, here you go. Am I not doing them a disservice? Well, how, Eszylfie? Well, because even if they died and I gave their spouse $1 million to pay off the mortgage, what about property taxes? What about utilities? What about car payments and car insurance? What about gas and cell phone bills? And if you have children, tuition, and all these other things that come about, right? So I'll teach you concepts like human capital. What is that? Present value of future earnings. That gives you a calculation to ascertain how much life insurance someone should actually have. One thing that I'll challenge you, you go through my process, you learn my human capital number, I guarantee you, forget prospects out there, in your existing book of business, 90% plus of your existing book of business, people who already know, like, and trust you and have written you a check are underinsured. You need to nothing more than understand my human capital language, go back to your existing clientele, and I will at least double your insurance business in this next year. Minimally. How's that sound to you? Okay. Every single client meeting, every single time you find something. Would that be nice? No one's gonna tell you I'm all set. No one's gonna tell you I got a guy. Because when you're done, right, they're either buying from you, right, or feel real uncomfortable, right? You've disturbed them at minimum. Now, whether they act or not, up to you, right? And truthfully, I can't guarantee you that people are gonna buy from you, right? People are gonna do or not do what they want in their own time and for their own reasons. What I will guarantee you is you're gonna find issues. You're gonna find problems. You're gonna create an opportunity to add value. That I promise you. So how we get there again is going through my boot camp, like I talked about. 2 sessions, intermediate, right? Intermediate. You know, it's $2,500. It's not a little bit of money, but it's also not a lot of money when you look at the value, right? That's what, 1 or 2 extra deals for the entire year, right? This is a 4-week intensive boot camp. These camps each session closes off at 20 participants. So it's intimate. It's about 90 minutes. We spend time deep diving for 4 weeks. And when you come out of that, you're gonna be a new man. You're gonna be a new woman, ready to go, ready to wreak havoc, right, on this underinsured, ill-prepared financial planning community, right, world that we are all in. There's not a better time to be in this business than right now. Estimated $15.3 trillion unmet life insurance need in our country. Estimated $41 trillion of wealth that's going to transfer from this generation to the next. In the year 2024, there are more people that are turning 65 than at any time in our country's history. It is time to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to make waves. Right? So we've got our intermediate, and you're trying to grow, right? Hey, Eszylfie, I'm at 50 grand, I'm at 100, I'm at 150. I'm trying to grow from that. That's intermediate. Advanced is advanced, right? We're deep diving, getting into some higher level concepts, and this is designed. How do I go from 250, Eszylfie, to 500? How do I go from 500 to 1 million, right? And that's not uncommon, right? That's not uncommon. Eszylfie, can I go from 500 to 1 million? Yes, you can. You can go as far as you think you can go. But it starts here, and then I'm going to give you the practical tools, language, process to get there. Again, 20 people per session, right? So we already know what you've got now. We know what you produce. We know what you make. If you're happy with where your business is right now and the amount of money you're making right now, I appreciate your time today and hope that you got a little inspiration and insight from this session. If in your heart of hearts, you believe I should be doing better than I am right now, then you must do something different, right? What's the risk? $5,000, $2,500 in the scope of changing your life, changing your business. Is it worth it? Without a doubt, without a doubt. Beyond that 4-week period of time, you also get access to our catalog of videos, audio series, ebooks, and live question and answer sessions with me throughout the course of the year. That's an additional $1,000 of value. Now, for anyone who's on this webinar today, if you sign up here using our promo code, you actually get, I think we have about a 24-hour special, so you gotta act fast, act now. You get an additional 10% off on this system. I want to create an army of men and women that are here to serve our community because we need it. Our country is broken. Our country is hurting. Our country is ill-prepared for the things that we're facing, right? For untimely death, for early retirement, for longevity. We're ill prepared, but we can do something about that, right? And I'm here to do everything I can to help you become the best version of yourself, right? So is it one day? Is it one day that you're gonna make these changes? Is it one day that you're gonna take the plunge, right? Or is it day one? You decide. Thank you.